Welcome back to Dark Souls. Last time, we learned of Manus, Father of the Abyss, the primeval human that we must destroy to stop the spread of the Abyss to the rest of the world. This time, we travel through his former prison and see this crack in the wall. We're gonna go through and follow this Abyss gunk through and see where it leads us. Before we go, I'd like to make some more level ups. 1, 2. Those are our last stat upgrades in strength. And 1, 2, 3. That'll be level 75. Let's do it. Right. Right. We're ready now. Right. Let's go into the hole. Let's see what's waiting for us. Let's see if we have everything we need. It looks like we do. So let's go. Here we are. Just a dark pit. A cave. Welcome to the chasm of the Abyss. It's not the Abyss itself. It's a chasm filled with it. When I said my favorite area was Lucille Township, I didn't just mean the township. I also meant the chasm of the Abyss as well. This is also my favorite area in the game. Here we have some more bloatheads. We can tell because of their eyes glowing in the dark. Take them down quickly. Yeah, my weapons will be just fine. We have also a sorcerer in the back. And he's already coming for me. Ow. I am dead. Nope, that'll do. Bounce it back. That's no good. Alright, that's that. Take out the sorcerer now. Bounce it back. That should take them all out. I already used 2 flasks, that's not good. Here we get another dark sorcery. This is the last one. Dark bead. Let's take a look at it. Abyss sorcery discovered by an Lucille sorcerer on the brink of madness. Fire successive dark orbs. In contrast to standard soul sorceries, Abyss sorceries are weighty and inflict physical damage. Perhaps a human soul is closer to matter in its humanity. This is the spreading sorcery that we saw. Dark bead. Before we talk about its lore implications, I just want to say that this is probably the most broken thing in the game. If you make an intelligence build and you use this, nothing's gonna stand in your way. No chance. It does so much physical damage that it's ridiculous. Closer to matter in its humanity. We have a bunch of bloatheads down here because I guess they traveled down here through the, or maybe they're guys who escaped from the dungeon. That's possible too. And in fact, that makes sense. They could have escaped from the dungeon. You know what? What's equipped to me? Good. I want to equip my humanity. We're going to be using these a lot. That's a dead end. And let's keep going down. Lower and lower. We're gonna have to keep going down to find the Manus. And here we have another new enemy. These are humanity phantoms. What are these creatures? They seem to be pure humanity. They're not too tough, so you could just give them a few whacks and they'll be done. Their main gimmick is that they inflict damage through contact, the only enemy that does so. And oh boy, damage can build up fast. These enemies can also drop humanity frequently. With the covetous gold serpent ring, I want to see just how much I'm going to get them to drop it for me. We're gonna consume one. Fully heal ourselves, because I cannot afford to use more flasks. We'll talk about what these creatures are later, because I have something interesting to say about them. Seems that I'm not really sure what they are, really. And that's probably what adds to their mystery. I'd like to go through the other way, but there is a bloathead sorcerer on the other at the end, so I don't want to deal with him. We're gonna walk over here. This is an illusory floor. And when we go through, it's Alvina. What's she doing here? She disappears. And then she reappears over there. Then she disappears again. It's like she's trying to lead us somewhere. It's very strange. What would she be doing in a place like this? Well, maybe the forest hunters weren't established yet, and maybe this is what she was doing. Who knows? She disappears again. That one's dead. It disappeared. She disappeared. Where'd she go? We'll find out later. First, I'd like to go up this lift. This lift would take us back to the Royal Woods. Back at the path to the Colosseum, where we saw Chester. I guess that means the Lucilians did make lifts here. They traveled through this chasm. Maybe they found Manus here, they took him, and they tortured him. And then the rest is history. We're back in the chasm now. But where did Alvina go? Alvina went here. Through this illusory wall. This is the last one. What's that over there? We'll look at that later. For now, we have to fight. We have to fight off these phantoms. It's Sif. He's I'll be back. I'll be back. Right. I was distracted for a little while. I'm back. Sif. That's why he wasn't with Artorias. He was stuck here, being trapped by the humanity phantoms. We saved him. From where he was, we pick up the cleansing great shield. It looks very familiar. The steel great shield used by Knight Artorias, who succumbed to the Abyss. Artorias, deeply scarred by the Abyss, used this to form a barrier to protect his compatriot Sif. Although this drained the shield, its magic defense remains high. Wow. That's why he's here. Sif couldn't leave, and I don't think he would have. Artorias used his shield to make a barrier to protect Sif from the humanity phantoms, while he would go down through the chasm, I'm assuming, to fight Manus. He lost, and Sif remains here. Interesting thing about Sif here. With the rescuing of him here in the past, while he's still seemingly a puppy, he's not nearly as massive as he would end up in the future. Something interesting would happen if you went to Artorias' grave and you haven't fought Sif yet. I'm going to show what happens if you do that, because I managed to make that happen on camera. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to say, it's even more depressing than Artorias' story. And it's not just because he's a dog, because I do not like dogs at all. We go down here on the path marked by prism stones. Yeah, people were here before. More phantoms. Don't you even think about it. Yeah, we're getting a lot of humanity, which is good. Do you hear that moaning? More humanity. Be careful there, cause if you do this wrong, Phantom will jump down there. Didn't seem to think about that, so let's pick up the item. Black Flame. This is not a dark sorcery. This is a dark pyromancy. Let's take a look at it. A pyromancy discovered from the dark of the abyss by a pyromancer who wandered into Ulasil. Conjure a great black flame in one's palm. Black flames are weighty, and inflict physical damage, enough to smack away the mightiest of shields. A pyromancy discovered by a pyromancer who walked in and learned how to use pyromancy that used the abyss. And that's all we get from there. This is where the black flame would come from this one pyromancer. I don't know who it was. It's a mystery. And it will always be a mystery. And now we climb up back here. And we find the Bloodhead Sorcerer right over there. Doesn't stand a chance though. Dead. We get another humanity. And we drop down. Now let's take out the rest of these phantoms. This area is just... I don't even know what to say about it. It's the atmosphere. It's the atmosphere that carries over from Lucille Township. These creatures may be made of pure humanity, but I don't think they're alive. From here, I'm gonna jump down, and there's that other phantom. We're gonna kill him. And here we get the final carving, the Help Me carving. Let's take a look at it. Head carved of arch trees by Goth in his imprisonment. Goth carves an emotion to each and every completed carving, which helps him achieve personal enlightenment. This head says, "Help me." Look again. Can you hear the desperate plea?
Help me.
That's probably what every human in this pit was thinking. Help me. They delve too greedily and too deep. Now we're gonna climb back up. Manus is just down there. Down this broken pillar. That's a massive pillar. And we pick up a twin humanity. There's the fog gate. Let's go down this detour for now, and we meet a friend. Owl. By the way, pyromancy isn't gonna help you with them, because they, for some reason, resist it. From this here, we get a white titanite slab. The only other white titanite slab you can get in the game, other than the one you find in Nito's lair. Not like you would need a divine weapon at this point. You wouldn't be using it here. Don't know why it's here. Take out the rest of these phantoms. That's all of the phantoms. Get a soul of a hero here. And we buff up. And I think that's the end of the road. It was short, but sweet. Just like Quailana said. That's the way down. You see that down there? Those eyes. Manus is down there. If you so choose, you really can just pelt him with arrows. I'm not going to do that. I won't be needing these. At least I hope I won't. What I will be needing is probably good old Ring of Sacrifice. I have one more, and I can buy more if I want. Guess we should just go. Take him down. We're going to destroy him. The only other possible candidate for the title of Dark Lord. He must die. Victory achieved. Manus, Father of the Abyss, has been destroyed. Manus uses a wide array of attacks. A lot of heavy, damaging melee attacks. The power to stretch his long, abyss-enhanced arm. And he also has dark sorceries available with his Manus Catalyst. If you save Sif before you find him, you can summon him to your aid. And here's Dusk. There she is. She's unconscious. We got her out. There we have a bonfire. I'd like to rest at it. We have a bonfire in the middle of this dark wasteland. That's very strange. Here at the bottom of Ulasil. And that's the end of the road. We get a bunch of humanity from defeating him, and now the Abyss will cease to spread, at least in a malicious way. I'm pretty sure the Abyss that the Dark Lord will bring forth will be far less deadly, because of player knowledge. I'd like to take a look at the Soul of Manus. Soul of Manus, Father of the Abyss. This extraordinary soul is a viscous, lukewarm lump of gentle humanity. Ancient Manus was clearly once human. But he became the Father of the Abyss after his humanity went wild, eternally seeking his precious, broken pendant. Broken pendant. The broken pendant. Half of a broken stone pendant. It has a distinct air consisting of both reverence and nostalgia. The reason Manus went mad is because he was seeking this broken pendant of his. But why did he care about it so much? And why would he kidnap Dusk of all things? Well, from there, we have a story to tell. A long one. I'm going to turn off the HUD for this, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this. This is Manus's grave. He buried himself alive. Why did he do that? Because it is my firm belief that Manus, Father of the Abyss, is the furtive pygmy. The furtive pygmy is the small, human-looking figure seen in the opening who had the dark soul. The furtive pygmy is our distant ancestor, and the ancestor of all humankind as we know it, for he would go on to create humanity in secret, hiding his dark soul from everyone else. They're one and the same. But why this pendant? And why Dusk? Manus one day retired to a cave, and he split his soul. And made the first two humans. He named them Half-Light and Dusk. Not this Dusk. Different Dusk. Half-Light and Dusk. Named after the ending of the Age of Fire and the coming of Dark. He named them as his, basically, children. Dusk gave Manus a special pendant, and he would treasure it forever. After this happened, Manus would go and bury himself alive. Why would he do that? Because he felt that he would never die, and that he would become the Dark Lord himself. And Koth, Darkstalker Koth, the primordial serpent, knew about this. Then, thousands of years after this burial, the descendants of Manus, Half-Light, and Dusk would found the first kingdom of humans, Ulasil. At this time, Princess Dusk, named after one of the first humans, was born. Koth would command the Ulasil sorcerers to dig up the primeval human, Manus, furtive pygmy, to bring forth the Dark Lord, and to end the Age of Fire. They dug him up. They went down into this chasm, and they dug him up. He was still alive. But he kept hold of that pendant. How did the Ulasil sorcerers torture Manus? We don't exactly know. Some say it was through visions of rotting flesh. Some say they brutalized him again and again, and they kept that bonfire that we see in the dungeon close to him, so he would heal up and then get damaged again. They did this to bring out the powers of the Dark Lord, because they did not know how else to do it. And then they caught wind of his pendant, still on his neck. They took it from him, and they destroyed it, right in front of him. And that caused him to go mad. He broke free from his chains, he ripped off one of his arms, and it would become that giant abyss arm that you see in his monstrous form, and he would break through the wall and head into the chasm. No, before he did that, he went around Ulasil, spreading the abyss everywhere, around all the humans that tortured him. And he kidnapped Dusk, because Dusk reminded him of his own daughter, and of his pendant. In fact, he was not trying to kill Dusk. He was trying to protect her. He fell in love with her. That's one of the only real emotions that Manus still had after he was transformed by the abyss that he brought forth. He could have become the Dark Lord if we didn't put him down soon enough. Artorias never killed Manus. We did. That's what you call a time paradox. And now, on top of all of our accomplishments, slaying an ancient dragon, killing the old lords, killing the 4 Knights of Gwyn, we destroyed the furtive pygmy. You did it wrong. I'll do it right. And with that, I think this is where I leave you. Next time on Dark Souls, we see what happens around the world after Manus has been destroyed. See you then.